Review that is coming up. But of course, Anna Nicole Smith and that whole case now in the news, remaining in the news this morning, and we have someone who's truly an insider.
Right, a very interesting interview. Let's turn to one of the people closest to Anna Nicole Smith, her bodyguard, Moe Breithaupt. He was at her side for most of the past 4 years, and tragically, he was at her side in her final moments, trying to save her in that hotel room. He was also in the ambulance and with her in the hospital ER as her life ended. I spoke with Moe just a few moments ago in this morning's news exclusive. Moe, I want to thank you for coming on this morning. I know you were a very close friend of Anna Nicole Smith. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
So the decision has been made that Anna Nicole Smith's body will be brought back to the Bahamas. Is that what Anna Nicole Smith wanted? Did she want to go and lie in peace in the Bahamas?
Definitely.
Have you ever heard her say, "And I want to be buried next to Daniel in the Bahamas"? Was it that explicit, or is it just what you knew from knowing her?
No, well, of course she said that because she was in a depression state at times when she says, you know, I just want to be with my baby. If something were to happen to me, you know, I want to be right next to my baby. And I was at the funeral in which I had to physically hold her back from jumping in the coffin with Daniel.
Now, let's go back, if you can, to February 8th. What was the scene when you returned to the hotel?
Well, when I got inside the hotel, I saw my wife on top of Anna saying, something's wrong. So I kind of gently moved her out of the way and looked and threw off the covers and looked at her. And at the time, I looked at her lips. If you know Anna, she has the most beautiful pink, full lips, and they wasn't pink. They was looking a little pale and blue. So I knew right then and there that I had to go to action. So I lifted her up, put her on the floor, and started breathing for her. And after I started doing administering CPR after that too.
You had already used CPR on her several weeks earlier.
Well, actually, it was like a couple, 3 or 4 weeks after Daniel had passed, just before we buried her.
And she was lying in a pool, and you believe she was so depressed that she rolled off, fell asleep, fell into the pool?
Well, what happened was, the situation was that during that time, you know, she wasn't allowed to get in the pool, as meaning under the water, so we have floaties there. She lays back on the floaties and plays in the water with her hands and her feet. And apparently she might have, you know, she was in pain. She probably took a couple pain pills or something, fell asleep, and she just rolled over, and then I heard a splash. Then Howard screamed and said, "Oh, Anna's in the pool." So I had to go down 10 feet deep in some water, pull her out, and just revive her. Now, this wasn't a suicide attempt, because when she got up, she thanked me. And normally if it's a suicide, the first thing out of their mouth is, "Why didn't you leave me?"
Back to February 8th.
And then when we went into the ER, I was the only family she had there. So, you know, I was in the room, in the hospital emergency room with her, and you know, they was doing everything they could to bring her back, and they couldn't. And they asked me, did they want me to let them stop? And I told them that I requested a chaplain of the hospital or something, and I guess that took so long, 20 minutes. So I leaned down next to her and asked them to keep going, and I said a long prayer for her, because I felt that she deserved that and she needed that.
Did you also feel that she was gone because you had to make that very difficult decision to say, that's it, it's over?
Yeah, it was time for her to rest. It was time for us to just let it go, let her be with her son.
What do you think killed Anna Nicole Smith?
I really do believe the loss of her son. Depression. Her heart was broken.
You were around them so much. Do you believe that Mr. Stern is the father of Anna Nicole Smith's daughter?
I believe that I'm going to believe anything that Anna tells me.
What'd she say?
She told me that Howard's the father.
And a very interesting insight there that